He's gone.
Hey, what are you doing?
What? You're not dead?
Dead? What are you talking about?
You just disintegrated right before my eyes.
No, man, I'm here to watch Endgame.
What?
Yeah. You've been here crying all this time?
Yeah? What?
Well, quit your crying. It's time to watch Endgame.
How did you come back? What?
That doesn't matter.
What? All right, you over there. What did you think of Avengers Endgame?
Endgame, I think, is a fitting conclusion to the Avengers saga that we've all gone through for the past gajillion years.
I was predicting that this would be the most predictable Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And it partially is, kind of, but at the same time, there's so many elements that are new to the point where I love it.
Yeah. It's very comic booky. It brings that feeling up. Some Marvel movies are more of a movie, but this reminds me more of like a comic book where just like the heroes are just hinging on such weird stuff to save the day.
I do agree with you to a point that it feels like a comic book movie. I would say that the first half of this movie, while I love it, it feels the least comic book booky. It's very dark and sad, and I love it.
It's like, okay, like the very beginning.
The very beginning.
It's like in 3 parts. A movie. And it's like 3 different movies, but they all work together very well.
I am so glad that Captain Marvel didn't kill Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I went into this movie thinking, okay, if Captain Marvel is the one to kill Thanos, that was gonna be the last straw for me.
She was still kind of plot armory, but
she was oh gosh, like
she's during so overpowered.
I was so glad when she was about to kill Thanos, and then Thanos just rips the Power Stone out and then punches her
right in the face.
I love that.
So this movie starts off so slow, but it's like we needed this. We need this time to breathe. We need to see what these people have lost.
We need to
see Hawkeye, the family man, losing his whole family.
Yeah, no opening credits. They're just gone. That's
right off the bat. They're not right before the opening credits. Jeez.
I love how the Russo brothers deal with Thanos at the beginning.
Well, I think it's a bold statement. Like, this movie is not about Thanos anymore. Thanos did his thing.
Yeah.
Thanos is done. Thanos was such a good villain that they have to deal with Thanos for 2 movies, and Thanos is barely in the second one. Like, that's a good thing, because this movie's about the Avengers. It's not about Thanos, and they're avenging what Thanos did. So it's just perfect. It fits very perfectly.
I love the idea that, like, right after Thanos is done with his job, he decides to just blow up the stones.
Yeah.
And
he's a farmer. He's just a wholesome farmer.
He's just a farmer. Opening of the movie, he's got like this super awkward thin arm, and he's just limping.
Yeah.
And then the Avengers just kill him immediately. But then the stones aren't there. So
they killed just like, it's weird because they killed just like this helpless guy, and it's like
So
like,
I guess
for all of them, it was like there was no satisfaction in it.
Yeah,
they did nothing. That's not what being a hero is about.
And then 5 years go by, so you can't say that Infinity War had no consequences anymore, which is amazing. I love that. Like they had to deal with that for 5 years.
Yeah.
Behold in breathless wonder, the God of thunder, mighty Thor.
Thanos, the worst thing he did was make Thor fat. That's great.
I guess
That's
indirectly,
great,
yeah. He made Thor so depressed that he's playing Fortnite.
Oh my god, that is gonna be forever in
a meme.
Forever in that movie. Fortnite is engraved in stone now in an Avengers movie.
I was kind of disappointed that I saw this coming, but it does work. Black Widow's death.
Hawkeye and Black Widow happen to go get the Soul Stone together. Can you ever get the Soul Stone alone? I don't know.
I don't know.
Apparently, you have to bring the one you love. So if you get there and you didn't bring the one you love the most, you're screwed.
What if you don't care about the person that you're with? Like,
Yeah, if you don't love anything.
Red Skull's just like, oh, sorry, man.
She's like, oh, jeez. I don't know what to do now.
Or maybe, like, in both Infinity War and in this movie, Thanos and Hawkeye lose their loved ones, and then the Red Skull's like, oh, I actually had it in my pocket this whole time. Well, you should have seen the look on your face. Yeah. It's just a prank, bro.
You actually threw her off the edge. Oh my god. But Gamora doesn't come back. Soulstone people are actually dead forever. Which a lot of people speculated, like, no, dude, Gamora's just in the Soulstone, dude.
True.
She's not. And also Black Widow's.
I mean, she was in the Soulstone, but remember Thanos blew it up.
Right, but also, I think anyone who's sacrificed to the Soul Stone can't come back.
Yeah, that's the point, yeah.
Even if the soul, or the stone isn't destroyed, you still can't bring him back.
Or maybe you could have interpreted that when Thanos saw Gamora, like, maybe that was just happening in his head. That wasn't actually a thing that was happening.
Right. I think it was, just like, it was more like a projection more than, like, actually happening.
Yeah, so, yeah, she's definitely dead. I'm surprised Chris Hemsworth... I'm so...
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris? I'm so surprised that Chris Hemsworth wanted to continue making Marvel movies.
I honestly think that Thor Ragnarok brought him back in, and, like, having Thor become this more comedic character, like, really worked.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield.
I think the real superhero moment was, like, Cap was there by himself, and he's like, all right, I guess I'm going to take this army on by myself. But then everyone shows up. Everyone shows up.
Yeah.
Like,
so when everybody comes back, it doesn't feel like, oh, of course they're back. Like, there's some dramatic effect to it. And so I do like that entrance that the Russos made with that.
Like, Captain America was willing to sacrifice himself no matter what, but he just happened to get saved by the rest of the Avengers. And then they say, Avengers Assemble, so it's kind of like a callback to the first Avengers, too.
In another scenario, that would have been super cheesy, but I think it works.
Right. I like how Thor is like, you get the little one. I also love how, in the conclusion of this movie, to beat Thanos, they couldn't beat him with brute strength, but Tony Stark beat him with brains.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually brute strength. And Tony Stark, got to snap Thanos, which is just like the most like yes moment ever.
Yeah.
Just like Tony Stark, this normal ass dude, beat a Titan, the Mad Titan, with a snap.
I also like how Thanos just accepts his fate right after that happens.
He just sits down.
He just sits down, like at the end of Infinity War, but he's just depressed. That's great.
He's like I like how he's very much a thinker, not just the brute strength.
Yeah,
part.
That's why I love him.
Yeah, and then, but he did, like, the stakes got a little bit raised at the end, because you're like, this isn't the old Thanos anymore. This is like...
Oh, he wants to murder everything.
Yeah, he wants to murder everything now, so the stakes are, like, that much higher. Like, you know the Avengers are gonna win, but I'm just saying that, like, he did raise the stakes at the end.
Yeah, Vision's gone for good.
Yeah, Vision's gone for good.
Yeah, and you're not gonna see him again. You're not gonna...
I'm not.
I know you're.
I can't say I'm overly.
I know you're happy. I love Vision.
I'm not like happy about it, but you know, I'm not sad about it either.
Oh, I got another thing that kind of bothered me. It's not the movie's fault, but I heard that Stan Lee managed to get one more cameo in Endgame.
Yeah,
and
he drove by in the car.
What?
He said, "Make peace, not war, losers." Remember where they go back in time? To Chris Evans and...
Was that him?
Yeah, that was him in the car. He was just like, a bunch of... He was supposed to look young.
Did they CGI him to make him look young? Was that...
I think he just had like a wig and stuff on.
Huh.
In the car when he's driving by in front of the base.
I didn't recognize him. Was that his voice?
Yeah, it was his voice. I did not recognize him.
I don't know. All right, awesome. I'm happy. Never mind.
He's in there.
He's in there.
Tony Stank is dead.
Tony Stank is dead. Black Widow's dead.
Black Widow's dead. Everyone sacrificed something. I mean, the Hulk is injured.
Oh, he's
Brie Larson's in the Avengers now. so many bad things that happened in this movie.
I wish I could laugh at that. Dang it.
So many sacrifices had to be made to beat Thanos.
It's great. Watch it.
I mean, we owe it to everyone who's not in this room to try.
If we do this, how do we know it's gonna end any differently than it did before?
Because before you didn't have me.
All right, so how exactly did you come back anyway?
Well, you know, I was scheduled to do some more reviews after this, so even when I got dusted, I couldn't stay dusted forever.
Oh, I guess that does make sense. Well, I'm glad you're back. End.
Wait, let's end with a tap dance. You
gonna animate that?
I guess.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.